back to another episode of Cooking with Lauren. And if you missed last week's episode, then you are missing a treat, because last week we made Ruth Chris stuffed chicken breast. And y'all, when I say that chicken breast was so tasty, it was so creamy and so delicious, I'm still getting DMs from people that are constantly recreating that dish. So I'm so excited that you guys loved it just as much as we did. So getting into tonight's recipe, I'm trying to keep that creamy, cheesy garlic flavor going. So tonight we are making garlic Parmesan shrimp bake. Oh my gosh, y'all. If you love pasta just as much as I do, then you will love this dish. It's going to have a ton of garlic, a ton of cheese, and a ton of flavor. So let's get started. I'm going to start out by doing a few things. First things first, I'm going to preheat my oven to 375 degrees. And also, I have a pot of boiling water already back here rumbling. I already added salt to it because, as you guys know, you always want to season your water when you're making pasta. So I've already added salt to it, but what I am going to add is some olive oil, and the olive oil is going to ensure that our pasta doesn't stick together. Last thing I'm going to do is put a low flame on the pot. Now you want to get a big pot, because when it comes time for us to mix everything up, you want like a nice pot that has some high sides. So I'm going to turn our pot on low heat, and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to the pan. Alright, so to get started on all of these great ingredients, I have so many different ingredients here. The very first thing I'm going to do is add our pasta to the water. So what the pasta that I'm using today is rigatoni. You can use any type of noodle that's that looks like this. Let me show you. So this is what rigatoni noodles look like. They are cylinder in shape, and they have a hole in the middle. So use anything like that, because once that sauce and the cheese kind of seeps into those holes, that's exactly what you want. You can also use like rigatoni pasta as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my noodles into my boiling hot water. I'm only going to use about half this box because as you guys know, when pasta cooks, it really expands and you're not going to need all of it. Next thing I'm going to do to prepare for our Parmesan garlic pasta bake is I'm going to go ahead and season the shrimp. I have, this is like a pound to like a pound and a half of peeled and deveined shrimp. I'm going to go ahead and season this with some salt and pepper. And then I'm also going to season this with this ranch powdered dressing. Now y'all, I know that last week I told you guys that was my first time using the spice, and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to use it sparingly because I don't want our dish to come out tasting like ranch dressing, but I really do love the garlic flavor that the ranch powdered seasoning adds to the dish. So I'm going to add just about a tablespoon of that to the shrimp. And y'all, I know you can imagine what this shrimp is going to taste like with this beautiful ranch dressing seasoning coating the shrimp. This is going to be so delicious, and it smells so incredible. Like, it smells just like ranch dressing, but in the powder form. So I'm gonna go ahead and coat our shrimp so that those can marinate pretty quickly. Our shrimp are all mixed up and they smell so good. So I'm gonna set these aside until we're ready to cook those. In the meantime, I'm gonna get started on cutting up our fresh garlic. Now I know I told you guys that I am just so over peeling and chopping fresh garlic, but I really think that this dish calls for fresh ingredients. So I'm not going to mince the garlic this time. I want like big, beautiful pieces of garlic, and it's okay because it's going to cook down in the sauce, and once it bakes, it's going to cook down as well. I'm gonna go ahead and add our fresh garlic into that hot pan that I added the olive oil and that I just added the olive oil to, and I'm gonna give it a quick mix. While our garlic is cooking and softening up and becoming nice and fragrant, I'm gonna get started on chopping up our tomatoes. Now, I love tomatoes, okay? It's one of the things that I can eat on pretty much anything. So if you don't like tomatoes, I know there are a lot of people out there who don't like tomatoes. You don't have to add it. But I am adding an entire tomato. This is tomato on the vine, and it's nice and juicy and ripe. So I'm just gonna chop this up in a rough mince. I want the pieces to stand out, so I'm not gonna chop it up too fine. Our garlic is getting nice and brown, and I can start to smell it. So when you are able to smell your garlic, that's when you know it's time to either take it off the heat or add in your next ingredients. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in this shrimp. Y'all, this shrimp smells so good. I'm gonna add in the shrimp. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook it for like 5 to 6 minutes. We're not looking to cook the shrimp all the way through because they're gonna finish cooking in the oven. If we were to cook them all the way through on the stove top and then put them into the oven, then your shrimp will be tough and too chewy and overcooked once they cook with the pasta. So we're just going to cook these for about 5 minutes until they are slightly pink, and then we're going to get ready to start on our sauce. The very last thing that we're going to chop up to kind of prep for our sauce is some fresh basil, y'all. Fresh basil smells so good. I can't even really describe it. It's like peppery and it's just so fragrant. I love using fresh basil whenever I can. I really want to, you know, start a basil plant, like start growing it on my own because I like using it so frequently, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to take care of it. So that's why I haven't started one of my own, but I'm just taking the basil off of the stems. And I'm just gonna roll this up and rough chop it. This is gonna smell so good and taste so amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and take the shrimp off of the heat because they are almost cooked through, and like I said, I don't want to overcook them. I left all of the pan drippings from the shrimp and all the ranch and garlic in the pan, and I removed the shrimp from out of the pan. Now I'm going to add a half stick of butter to all of the nice drippings that I left in the pan and wait for that to melt down, and this is going to be the start of our sauce. The butter has melted down all the way now, so I'm going to go ahead and add in some light cream. I like working with light cream better than heavy cream because light cream doesn't get too quick too fast. Heavy cream gets really thick very quickly. So I'm using some light cream this time. By the way, our pasta is back there and it is completely done. It's al dente, and I left it a little bit undercooked just like I did with the shrimp, so that when it goes into bake, it's just barely done and it isn't overcooked and mushy. So I'm gonna take this off the burner and I'm gonna get that strained. Our sauce is starting to thicken, so we're gonna add some salt and pepper. Whisk that up. Mozzarella cheese. And that's gonna thicken up our sauce. As well as Parmesan cheese. And we're gonna continue to whisk. You see that cheese sauce? That's exactly what you want. You want it to be sticky so that when you put the pasta in, it'll bind together. You don't want this to be a very soupy sauce. You want it to be very thick. The last things that we're gonna add to our sauce are gonna be the very fresh basil, our diced tomato, and we're gonna add all of our shrimp back in there with the juices. We're just gonna give this a mix. Look at that, that looks amazing. Amazing. Very last thing we're gonna do is add in our rigatoni pasta. So go ahead and add in some at a time to make sure that the sauce is still tight. You want it to be very tight. You don't want it to be soupy like I said before. This this smells so good. So it's okay, but I think I'm gonna add in a few more pasta. Can we just appreciate this sound for a second? pasta is ready to go into the oven at this point, and I can hardly wait for it to come out. So I'm just going to dump all of this in a baking dish. Oh my gosh. This looks and smells so delicious, y'all. Just try to smell through your phones, okay? Try to smell through the TV, through the phone, through the computer, because oh my gosh. Get into this, y'all. Oh my goodness. We're gonna be eating this for days. I really didn't mean to make this much. So now what I'm gonna do is cover the top. I have more Parmesan and more mozzarella, and I'm just gonna cover the top in cheese. So when it bakes down, it's gonna be just cheesy and crispy and brown on top. Oh my gosh. This is a winner, y'all, okay? If you haven't made any of my Cooking with Lauren recipes, this is the one to make, I'm telling you. So I'm going to put this in our 375-degree oven for about 25 minutes. And then for the last 5 minutes, or not the last 5 minutes, but maybe for like a minute, I'm gonna put it under the broiler so that the top is just nice and golden brown. And I'll see you guys back here in about 25 minutes. Ooh, y'all, our pasta has been cooling down for like 20 minutes now because it was piping hot when it came out of the oven. So I'm just going to help myself to a huge serving. Let me just, yo, and it's still hot. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to try this. It is so cheesy and it's nice and perfectly browned on top. Let me try, let me try. This is exactly how I imagined it would taste. Oh my goodness. The garlic flavor is so pungent in this dish. I don't even know how to explain it. It's garlicky, it's buttery, it's creamy, it's cheesy. Oh my goodness. And let me try a piece of shrimp. Let me see. Yo. The shrimp with that ranch seasoning on the outside is so good. Like, I can't. You have to make this. It's so good. It's so tasty. What in the world? Y'all, this is a winner, okay? This is a winner. If you want to impress your bae, impress your family, your in-laws, this is the dish to make because it's so rich. I would serve this up. Me personally, I can just eat pasta just like this. I can probably eat it right out of this pan. But if you want something to kind of accompany it, because it is so rich, I would recommend just serving it with like a tossed salad with some type of very light vinaigrette dressing. I think that's how I'm going to serve it up tonight. But y'all, this was so amazing. I thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Cooking with Lauren. I am just so inspired and just so excited to keep giving you guys recipes every single Wednesday. You can catch me here at 7 p.m. with a new recipe. And if you want a sneak peek of what I am cooking on Cooking with Lauren every Wednesday, then you need to follow us on social media. You can follow me at Mrs. Lauren with 3 N's, and you can follow Henry at hen_Jones_. And we also post on our joint Instagram page, which is Hen and Lauren. And that way you can kind of get a sneak peek of what I'm going to be uploading or what I'm going to be cooking on Cooking with Lauren that coming Wednesday. Yo, this pasta's so good. I almost forgot to mention that I am coming to your hometown. Yes, I am. Cooking with Lauren is going mobile. I am now accepting local catering orders. So if you live in New York, New Jersey, Maryland, DC, or Virginia, or even Philly and PA, I will be able to cater your next event. So if you have an event coming up and you're looking for a caterer, please shoot me an email at henandlawn@gmail.com and we can schedule a consultation so that we can go over the theme for your event and what type type of menu you would like, and I can help you customize a custom menu. So yeah, if you are looking for a caterer and you love my cooking, I can recreate one of the dishes that you've seen so far on Cooking with Lon, or like I said, we can build a custom package for you. So yeah, definitely hit me up via email at Hen and Lon. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Cooking with Lon. I will see you guys next week, same time, same place, different recipe. I'm gonna serve me up some more of this pasta.